Okay, it's a little something I want to share. Okay, so there's some readers on here that say stuff like your ancestors or your spirit guides can like abandon you at some point if you like never listen or like or something like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know my truth is that God never leaves us. So that's something that, and then something that I hear a lot that I hear him tell me is that it's progress, not perfection. Because you'll start just getting downloads, and you'll start to see, the world, and you'll start to understand these different aspects of yourself. And oh, okay, I know that it was something else that was coming to me, is that it's like, and my energy is kind of low right now, but it's like your mind is programmed because of the environment that you found yourself in and the people that you've been around and all of the things that you've read and stuff like that. So, but still there were things that you picked up that were actually like on a deeper level. That was something that you really it stuck with you. It resonated with you. There was a deeper effect that it had on you. And so to me, once you're cracked open by God, by love, essentially, and I don't know what it's like for other people, but yeah, it's destructive a lot of times. Like dark nights of the soul are not cute and fun. And heart openings are, that's not even the worst one to me, but like it's a pain. It's pain in the body. And so but what you start to realize is that it's like you start to just see, at some point you start to see these patterns, and there's stuff that you're not going to fully know. But to me, it's like it all goes together of like, that's why the surrender has to happen the way that it does, because it's like you're learning this new way of being. You're learning to trust the process. You're learning to trust God and his timing, and learning to trust your body. Like that's been a really, really big one for me. And I want to try to give some examples, like some things that like for me, I used to just sabotage my energy levels. And I guess no one around me was, no one said like, hey, well, no, there were people that said that there were people that told me about my energy. Like this one dude called me like the Energizer Bunny, but I didn't equate that with like, I am abundant and I should be sharing that. Instead of, I was like, okay, let me abuse this. So like, that's how I see it now. At the time, and I will say too, that it was like, there was for a long time when I first started doing this, I remember there was of that voice that was like, you need to stop, or you need to chill out, or like, I don't remember, the words, but it was something, it was that part of me that was like, you need to be taking care of yourself. Like, what are you doing? So, that you see how we override our intuition, that's how I see it now, is that was that intuitive voice being like, this is wrong. So that's one of the things that I don't know what, and it's not black and white, because it's like, I know I'm close to my cycle, but like there will be days, and there have been so many days of my energy, of dealing with fatigue. Sometimes it's spiritual upgrades. Again, sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes it takes a while to figure out if there's actually something more that's going on wrong with you and stuff. So there's this deep acceptance and surrender that you're moving through, of like, I know my body, I trust my body. I know that I can get through this. I know God, I know that. And then again, you'll get downloads and stuff sometimes after you move through something. So you just are like, that becomes this medicine that you can give to other people, of like, hey, it's okay to take it slow, and to be patient, and to trust yourself, trust your body, trust the process. You can move through this fear, and you're going to be carried. You're going to be okay. I don't know. It's just this deep trust that you're building with yourself and the world around you. And, that's been a lot of it for me, because I remember after having Teddy, I started dealing with bouts of fatigue. because I was essentially just abusing my body like every single day. Like it wasn't, I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs, I didn't drink, but I remember even when I just remember I would go as hard as I could, and I would go on as little like food as possible. I would like, I mean, it wasn't, I've never been, I don't want to say never say never, but I don't recall being someone who counted macros or did that type of thing. And I always had some sense of, for a very long time, I've cared about like eating at least somewhat healthy, and I've been through different phases, whatever. But like, there was a long period of time where I was like, I would challenge myself with like how hard I could run, like how fast I could go. It was just like, it was always challenging my body, like always pushing my limits, like always go hard or go home. And it was just like, and running on, you know, but not enough. And like, that's especially for a woman, for hormones, like that's very bad. And our thyroid and like, who knows, my womb, like, you know, so it's like, and there was a part of me that knew like, I'm probably going to have, there's probably going to be repercussions later for this. But it was like that part of your ego that's like, it's never satisfied. So it was like, cause I remember there would be times when I was running and I'd be like, am I going to hit a wall? Like, when do I hit the wall? And it was like scary in a way, cause I was like, I just don't have self-control. Like I would set limits, but I mean, there were lots of people who would be like, you're doing too much. And I just tuned it out. I didn't listen. So there's a lot of that once you surrender to the journey of like, okay, now I'm working through the stuff that, you know, the damage that I did to myself, but you're learning to trust your body, the fact that we can regenerate and that we can heal, and that God is so incredibly gracious and merciful. And and especially with like shadow work, because that's a whole other thing. And it's like, he literally like holds your hand through it. And it's like, we have to like that. There is that like stuff gets built up so much that we're terrified to face it. And God's like, all right, well, we're going to jump off the cliff then. And you're going to trust that I've got you. And that's like, to me, like a dark night of the soul, because you're just like resisting it so much that you're forced into it. So, but then that you're growing so much faith and so much trust in yourself and your journey. And the fact that like that's where you start to see how it's like, there's this deeper part of you. You have this soul blueprint that was like, this is what's going to happen. And it's going to suck at first. It's going to motherfucking suck for a little bit. And then it's going to get better. And then you're going to learn to trust the process, and you're going to learn to just cry and take a break if you need a break, so that it's not worse than that the next time or something like that, like whatever it is for you. And you don't beat yourself up anymore about it. So, because you start to just see the patterns, and you start to see how it's like, it's getting because like to me now it's like, I love getting downloads. I love you have this insane desire to serve, and that drives you more than anything else. And so, because like even now it's like, okay, I don't know what impact I've made. I'm not making all this money. Like there's lots of things like that, but it's like, it just doesn't matter anymore, because I'm just grateful to be able to like bring this to somebody, to hopefully help them through something, to help them know that it's like, we're built for this. And it doesn't mean that it's like, there's insane amounts of discomfort, but that to me is why you grow in your trust and your faith. And you also, this pride and this gratitude and this, I can't think of the other words. It's just, yeah, gratitude, because you're like, then the moments, the days that are good, or the days that you feel good or you're happy, you also get this joy that you didn't have before. So, you know, there's all these other aspects where you're also having to learn how to protect things and stuff like that. But then you just become this like savage of over yourself and your journey with God, of like, F the haters. Like it once in a while it gets to you, but it's like, you're like, nah, like no one was there when you went through all this stuff. It was just you and God. And you like feel like you're dying. Like you literally think you're dying, because that's what an ego death is. It's like a part of you is dying. So, you know, to rebirth this other aspect. So it's like, you just start to see how it is. And then also it's like when you do things where you go through stuff and you're graceful with yourself and you're patient with yourself and you are not reactive or whatever, that's where that becomes a code that you can help somebody else through. And then also it's like, that's something else that you're meant to like do or have in this lifetime. Like I know that scarcity has been something that we've had to move through, and it's like, that's going to come back to you Even if it's just feeling abundant within, like you don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but it's like when you move through things with grace, you're becoming, it's almost like before we were like, okay, this is how I'm going to wrap it up. This is how it sort of feels to me, is it almost felt like I was like, cause I do feel detached a lot now, but it almost felt like I was like this broken, like I see it as like all the pieces were like all not quite fitting together. It was almost like I was like this mold, but the clay was like all crackly. It's just kind of how I'm seeing it, because it was like I never felt complete. I never felt whole. I never felt not even like comfortable, because like I'd feel comfortable sometimes, but it was like it's always like you're not complete. You're always chasing something or whatever. And so, but now it's like you're kind of like the clay is like, it's like the mold is coming back together and it's strengthening, and it's this power that you're generating from within. And it's like, it doesn't even matter how you show up every moment, or how much energy you have every moment, because it's like, it's this inner strength and patience and these other parts of you that are who you are now. That's 11:11. That seems like a good stopping point.